Principal in 30, the politics of comedy, first on BBC One with Jack D.
The Just for Laughs Festival in Montreal, Canada. 17 years of the best comedy and the biggest comedy stars. And on tonight's full Mountie, we meet the comedians who mix politics with pleasure.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Bonsoir!
That ain't a brain, that's breakfast!
I've got jokes, and I'll use them, all right?
Kiss my ass!
This week I'm shopping for clothes in the heart of London's bustling comedian suit district. These days, any comedian that appears on television can afford to have his suits tailor-made, choosing exactly the right cloth, cut and stitch for maximum comic effect. Which makes you wonder why so many of them still look like utter tossers. Hello, I'd like a comedian suit, and the funnier the better.
Certainly, sir. I'm sure we can accommodate you. I've got a nice Julian Clary.
No, I don't think you heard me. I want to look like a comedian, not a Bangkok ladyboy.
Well, what about a Rory Bremner?
You see, it's very clever and topical, but it's not very funny.
It isn't, is it? That's why I thought it would suit you.
Zip it, cloth monkey.
Absolutely. Would you like to try some on?
What's that for? A little bit of politics, a little bit of satire, ladies and gentlemen. Big slaps on a like John Wayne saddlebag. That's too rude. Rock on, Tommy. Hey, you don't like me, do you?
No.
What are the chances of that happening, eh? If the geese come back, eh? Katanga, send your money in.
Oh, no, sir. No, that's definitely not you.
This is my suit. Thanks for nothing.
Little bit of politics creeping in there, ladies and gentlemen. British Rail, double seat, gotta get a double seat. Fast food, flush it down the toilet, cut out the middleman. I could get used to this.
I've been on the road doing comedy for 10 years now, so bear with me while I plaster on a fake smile and plow through this shit one more time.
Bill Hicks was kind of a political comedian, but actually Bill Hicks' act, an awful lot of it is about music, an awful lot of it is about sex, and then some of it's about American foreign policy.
Yeah, and it's not aiming at changing anything or anyone.
Not really. Well, no, I mean, probably on a personal level it is. I mean, he was a preacher type. I mean, one of the things that's very true about Bill Hicks that someone said is that he wanted to be Jesus, but he wanted to be Jesus throwing the moneylenders out of the temple. He wanted to be an angry Jesus, and he's very much part of that, you know, tradition. It's more about anger in a way than it is about an actual political agenda.
His stuff was fantastic, and seeing him live was just great. You know, really amazing stuff. Sharp, funny, really political, not afraid to kind of like talk for a minute or so, you know, without getting the laughs, you know, because, you know, there's a lot of comics who will just go, no, I must have the laugh now. You know, and it's kind of like every sort of 20, 30 seconds, laugh please, laugh please, laugh please.
Love being a comedian, but I hate the travel part of it. Travel sucks. Sitting in airports, sitting on the plane, on the runway, and the plane won't take off. My personal favorite. Frequent waiting. Telling you, every time I see a hijacking on the news now, I just think to myself, do it. Let's see how far you get. I paid and didn't get off the ground, man. I've thought about that, putting a gun to a pilot's head. That'd feel real good. Just one time. This is a hijacking. Where do you want to go, Cuba? No, I want to go where this plane was supposed to be 5 hours ago! That's right, I'm hijacking this plane to its scheduled destination. Who's in? Who's in? I love when George Bush came out and said, "We are losing the war on drugs." You know what that implies? There's a war being fought, and people on drugs are winning it. What does that tell you? Some smart, creative people on that side. They're winning a war, and they're f***ed up. You know the problem with the war on drugs? They fight it like the colonials fought the Indians. They're walking in a straight line in red coats in empty fields. Indians are up in trees going, are they fighting us? We're not even in that field. I guess we're winning. I used to do drugs and I quit, okay? But I have nothing against drugs. Sort of a strange idea, huh? Yeah. I'll tell you something else, and I know this is not a very popular idea. You don't hear it very often, but it's the truth. I have taken drugs before, and I had a real good time. Sorry. Didn't murder anybody, didn't rob anybody, didn't rape anybody, didn't beat anybody, didn't lose any jobs, laughed my ass off, and went about my fucking day. Sorry. Where's my commercial? That's it, man. I'll be the guy holding that skillet in that commercial. That ain't a brain, that's breakfast! God, I'm hungry. That's what I hate about that thing. All day long you see those commercials. Here's your brain on drugs. Just say no. Why do you think they call it dope? And what's the next commercial? This bud's for you. Come on, let's be hypocritical bastards. It's okay to drink your drug. We meant those other drugs, those untaxed drugs. Yeah.
Interesting in the States, I think, you have Bill Hicks and Sam Kinison and people like that who seem to structure and deliver their act in a way which is much more traditionally a comic act. Doesn't seem to come from the political angle first and then add the comedy. It comes actually much more from the, hey, I'm a guy doing jokes, and then almost more subtly slip it under the wire kind of thing. You know, Bill Hicks in particular, I think, managed that, you know, expertly. It's curious. I think our comedians who are kind of, you know, politically motivated or biased seem to be more specific and seem to actually believe in what they're doing, have a great degree of commitment.
I'm often wondering, you know, talk to people like you, what the hell would you have ended up doing if showbiz didn't exist?
Right now I'd go and do politics in Europe.
Right.
Because I'm a big Europe nut.
Because that's your other thing.
Yeah, just because I see the big vision, man.
Mm.
So yeah, I'd go and do that, I think, which is probably the same. Do stand-up comedy and being a politician, maybe they're the same thing.
Just trust me. I've done this before. In the event of an emergency, I've got jokes and I'll use them, all right? This is the brilliant thing about being a comic. You can screw up in public and get away with it. You can say to an audience, I might screw up, and generally the audiences go, good luck. Good luck, off you go. You can't screw up in public in any other job. You can't get on a plane and have the pilot go, I don't know, 50-50, really. I've read the book. Wait, first time lucky, look at that. This is the only job you can screw up in public and get away with it, with the exception of the United Nations Peacekeeping Force, obviously. No, they charge into places and go, we are the United Nations Peacekeeping Force. Carry on. They are getting the American Air Force to drop food now into Rwanda. Now, the American Air Force are so accurate that people in London are walking around going, watch out, could be anywhere, keep an eye out. It's weird, because we do not know how to solve problems. As a race, we don't know how to do it. You know, AIDS is now pandemic. It's across the globe. And yet the Pope turns around to developing countries and goes, no, don't use those rubber things. Don't use them. They're evil. Put them away. Nasty person. You won't use them at all. If you use them, you'll go to hell and I'll kill you. I'm paraphrasing, but you get the gist, right? And I thought, they've outlawed condoms in places like South America. There'll be people arriving at Columbia Airport with condoms stuffed inside blocks of cocaine. Just move it through. Go on. There'll be the customs officers standing there going, was that rubber? In Britain, they have just allowed condoms into men's prisons. They wouldn't do it before because sex in jail is illegal. Well, you better tell the prisoners they wouldn't want to break the law, would they? If you put 20 men into a room this big for 23 hours of the day, whether they are straight or gay, they are going to have sex. They're not monks. All right, bad example, but you know what I mean. And we've got to get kids using condoms, because the fact of the matter is, under 16-year-olds have sex. And they have sex because sex is sometimes thrilling. It's wonderful, it's brilliant, it's orgasmic, it's sensuous, it's delicious, it's exciting, it's dangerous. It takes you out of that everyday mundanity of your daily life and makes you something special. And sometimes, just sometimes, skateboarding can't do that for you. So give them the condoms, and flavouring condoms doesn't encourage children to use them. If you want kids to use condoms, you need condoms with Nike written up the side of them. That's what you need, with a little air pump that...
Over there, there's more of a tradition of political comedians who have kind of got a cause as well as an act. And is there a reason that perhaps the Americans are better at it, or?
I would say they don't really have comedians like Mark Thomas, who, or the comedians that we used to have here in the early 80s, where their agenda was primarily political. I would say that, you know, someone like Jon Stewart, you know, he clearly is liberal, clearly, you know, is by American standards left-wing, but he doesn't have that kind of definite political program that some of the sort of, you know, more left-wing British comedians have. And I think that's to do with politics in America, which, you know, basically isn't the same thing, you know.
No.
They just, you know, as you know, there's only like one senator in the whole of the US Senate who actually calls himself a socialist.
Well, tell me about Jon Stewart. You're keen on him?
He's one of those rare comics that has no affectations whatsoever. I suppose he's pretty good looking, so that's a bonus. But he just gets by on you know, really good material and a winning manner.
Of course, in America, we're a little distracted right now by a new presidential election and the imminent threat of war. Man, does George Bush really want to bomb a country right now? He is so low in the opinion poll. He wants to bomb Iraq so bad. He can just taste it. He so much wanted them not to comply with the resolution. He's searching for any reason to bomb Iraq. Gotta comply. Gotta comply with the resolutions. Won't stand for it. Saddam Hussein's gotta comply with the resolutions. Okay, we comply. Gotta shave the mustache. Gotta, facial hair bad. Hitler mustache. Hussein mustache. He's so hyped up the last time we were in the Persian Gulf. Do you remember that one? The world must unite to battle mighty and powerful Iraq. And the war started and it lasted 100 hours. The ground war lasted 100 hours. Remember when they were afraid it was going to be another Vietnam? It wasn't even another Woodstock. It was 100 hours. I've been in dance marathons longer than that thing. But we're so cocky about our military now. Yeah, we're #1 militarily. #1. Woo! And 15th educationally. Smart bombs, really stupid children. That's what we've got. It's sad. It's very sad. In the next war, the bombs will probably be way too smart and valuable. We'll just have to drop illiterate school children on the country we're fighting. Wouldn't that make for great video from the war room? Some fat-ass Pentagon general? Coming up, you'll see the Iraqi War Ministry and that little white blip headed towards the building. That's Jimmy Johnson from Bronx Elementary. He's 9. He's got a can of spray paint. He's going to vandalize the roof. Here he goes. He's going to write "Eat Me" right on the ceiling. They hate that. Let's see. EET. Oh, my goodness. They're so cocky. Now, did you know that in our country, gay people aren't allowed to fight in the military? That is the stupidest rule. Why? Gay people can't be proud of the country and want to defend it? What's the Army afraid going to happen if gay people are in it? Private, shoot that man! I can't. He's adorable. I'm sorry. I'd like to kill. I cannot. You know what I think the Army's really afraid of? 1,000 gay guys with M16s going, "Who'd you call a faggot?"
There are certain parts of America where they've really sort of like taken the Constitution on board. So it's kind of like freedom of speech and the right to happiness and the right to say what you want. It's completely respected, and almost like the right to criticise a government is actually your moral duty. You know, whereas if in Britain there are certain, you know, times when you could, you know, if you criticise a government, you could be seen very, very easily as being unpatriotic. And almost in America, it's the other way around.
I'm so happy to be in Canada to get away from the American politics down there. We got everybody running for office, and, you know, Bush and Clinton and Mr. Perot, he dropped out. I dropped him 2 months ago. I dropped him before he dropped me because he said something really stupid. He said he wanted to turn America back to what it used to be. I said, that's enough for me. That's all I need to know. And you got Mr. Bush. Now, Bush, they say he's a family man, and personally, I believe that. I know he brought my family much closer together. My brothers and sisters had to move in with me. Bush has America so screwed up, we got people sneaking back into Mexico. Rodney King wasting money in the courts trying to find out whether these 4 cops are guilty or not. You saw the tape, I saw the tape. Hell, they played it so many times it went platinum Thursday. But I hear Rodney King still stands a chance of getting $100 million out of this case. And when I leave here tonight, I'm driving home as fast as I can. I'll take a whooping for $100 million. And that brought about all the rioting out in Los Angeles. Everybody was rioting out there. People you never would have thought, blacks, white, Mexican, Jews. Wasn't it nice to see blacks and Jews working side by side? People was looting. I saw a lady had a sofa on her back by herself. And the little kids were behind her with the pillows, looked like little ducks walking to the water. Everybody was looting out there. It was crazy out there. They had 18,000 looters. Over 18,000 looters. They had 2 lines. They had to get them out of court within 72 hours. They had 1 line for the hardcore looters and 1 line for 10 items or less.
George, I remember seeing down the Comedy Store, because he used to open for, like, the Supremes and people like that. He'd be the warm-up man on the tour. And I just remember seeing him down the Comedy Store, and he was just absolutely spot on, because he says, you know, I know how you tell nigger jokes, and I'll show you how you tell nigger jokes. And then looks around and does this whole sort of cod, hey, come here, I've got a nigger joke. It's just great. He was really good. He was really sort of quite hard, quite challenging. It's very weird, because that festival, the black comics were far more political than their white counterparts.
Me and one of the guys, this is real ironic, we got in like a little Rodney King incident ourselves. Me and this guy Dave, we were eating dinner at a restaurant. Dave got in an argument over the check with the waiter. Next thing we know, the owner, the manager, all the employees get together and just beat the shit out of him. Kapow! He sued him for $500,000 and won the case because the whole incident was recorded on videotape. Sounds amazing, right? That's why me and my buddy Dave always carry a camcorder with us. Because you never know when a Kodak moment might pop up, you know. We'll be hanging out and be like, all right, Dave, go ahead, I got you. You ready, man? Go ahead, do it. I'll just be ready. Hey! Officer! Kiss my ass. What? Uh-oh. Roll them. I took 2 white friends of mine to an all-black party in L.A. These guys were in shock. They had no idea that black people sometimes call each other nigger as an endearing term. And they saw the brothers at the party like, hey, what up, nigga? My man. Oh, what's up, nigga? Pap, pap. My white friends, they got all excited. Hey, how you niggers doing? The music stopped. Everyone looked at. Oh, my goodness. I mean, they got their asses kicked that night. I hated to do it, but you understand. It was like, they embarrassed me, those kids.
Do you think the political thing has more or less fallen away now in this country?
I never really saw it. I don't know if you did. I think there was a little bit of tokenistic political stuff around the sort of early 80s, just before we both started. And by the time I was doing it, there was... The only thing that was political was that the gigs tended to be run by anarchists, which just meant you didn't really know what time you were going on. There was no sort of, like, let's bring down the system. It was just like, here's £4. You go on for an hour or 4 minutes, don't really matter.
In terms of percentage, I think we have a larger number of people who are politically aware and bring that into their work. And that gives it a kind of a nice feel. I think I like the fact that the British comedy world seems to be still, even though it's much more of a business than it was, but it still seems to be less just a business, less just about making, you know, a career for yourself and money for yourself, and more kind of like, here are things that I really feel I have to and want to say.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Bonsoir, mesdames et messieurs. You notice the French words no bigger, but I said them more loudly and more slowly. Now, this is not a cheap shot. In any sense, a cheap shot at what I see as absolutely essential efforts of cultural delineation and defining where you are, where you're coming from, because I think all over the world the same cultural debate is going on, perhaps not as in such stark contrast as tonight on De Gaulle night, but all over the world people are aware that we're living in a homogenous culture. The global market is driving culture around the world, and cultures and ways of being that survived for centuries against history and war are gone in an instant. Napoleon could not hang on to Moscow, but Ronald McDonald, he walked in, he stayed there, and he's still serving burgers. Christianity was stopped at the gates of Islam, 4 crusades in a row. Colonel Saunders, he's in, he's got nothing to worry about. He's selling chicken or something that vaguely resembles chicken. A tidal wave of bullshit is sweeping around the world. The market is driving it forward when you think you've been marketed at beyond any improvement they market you again. McDonald's is a good example. They've remarketed it in America. In America now, I've just been through Los Angeles, they have Express McDonald's. Express, not ordinary McDonald's anymore, now it's Express McDonald's. Now what does it mean? It's just more rubbish, more marketing right. Express McDonald's is meaningless, it's a tautology. McDonald's means express. What it means, fast, that's what McDonald's means. What does express mean? Fast, what do they mean? Fast food, very fast food. Thought it was fast, like, this is very, how fast do you want it? You go in, Big Mac please, say, gee, it's embedded in the back wall. There's French fries whizzing past your head. Express McDonald's, it's just a real concept. You go in one of those, you'd go back in time.
You know, in the old days, you know, it used to be, you had to be politically correct to be rebellious, right? Then you had to be politically incorrect to be rebellious. And I think some people should realise that the dignified thing to be is not rebellious after a while.
But actually, there's a subject I wanted to talk about on stage that's been very difficult to address at home. You certainly couldn't do it last year with the climate of moral hysteria that surrounded it, a kind of national emotional panic. But what I'm talking about, of course, the death at the end of last summer of Princess Diana, the late Princess of Wales. And what struck me as being most strange about it was the way everyone back home in Britain was affected by it, but they all chose to express their grief in their own personal, different, individual ways. I'll show you what I mean. I went down to Kensington Palace, because I live in London, where she lived. Went down there about 2 days before the funeral. And outside there at the gates, in amongst all the floral tributes and the wreaths, and bunches of flowers and little handwritten messages of goodwill and condolence cards and little pictures little kids had done. In amongst all that, I quite honestly saw, and this is true, I saw a life-size inflatable model of E.T. And I looked at that for some time, and I thought, who thought that that was appropriate? What household did that come from, where perhaps a wife went through to her husband early on that tragic Sunday morning, said to him, you must wake up. Come and watch the TV. There's been some terrible news. And he said, why? What's happened? What is it? What's happened? And she said, Princess Diana has been killed. And he said, hey, how? How's that? How? And she said, in a car crash in France. And he sat up. And he shrugged his shoulders and sighed and said, I better go out and get a life-size inflatable model of E.T. then. You know, for the gates of her home. We don't want to be the only people who don't put one there. And his wife said, yes. And you'd best hurry, there'll be a rush on those now.
Man, I've been here for a week, or 4,000 brain cells ago. This has been fun. It's a crazy town. I was out on the street the other night. This homeless guy asked me for money, and I was about to give it to him, and then I thought, he's just going to use it on drugs or alcohol. And then I thought, that's what I'm going to use it on. Why should I judge this guy, you know? People always judge homeless guys. Like, you give him the money, he's just going to waste it. He's just going to waste the money. Well, he lives in a box. What do you want him to do with it? Save it up and buy a wall unit, you know? Or take some karate lessons, pick up that hot new Ricky Martin CD he's had his eyes on, so he could kick La Vida Loca with the other homeless guys under the bridge. I love how he does that, living La Vida Loca. Like a bullet through your brain. Ooh. He acts it out. He acts it out in case we didn't get it just from the words. Bullet through your brain. Ooh, I'm dead. No, I'm not. Back. Just acting. People could be so harsh to homeless guys, you know. I walked behind this guy the other day, and this homeless guy asked him for money, and he looks right at the homeless guy. He goes, why don't you go out and get a job, man? Go out and get yourself a job. Good to see the sex change has kicked in since then. Get a job. Get a job. Like, it's always that easy. This homeless guy was wearing his underwear outside his pants. I'm guessing his resume ain't all up to date. I'm predicting some problems during the interview process. I'm pretty sure even McDonald's has an underwear go inside the pants policy. This guy's been living in the garbage for 6 months. What kind of job is he supposed to get? Hey, welcome to IBM, Smelly. Come on in, we got a job for you. Thank God you finally made it. That's your desk over there with the air fresheners on it. Make yourself comfortable. I like the look with the underwear. And it's Casual Friday, so it's all perfect, but you might want to go with those shoes later.
Jack's back at 11:20 next Tuesday on BBC One. Alarm bells are ringing next in The Peter Principle.
Being a ghost isn't easy.
Could I borrow your body for a night, please?
There's rigorous training.
I haven't quite got the hang of this sticking to things yet.
Maintaining your ghostly street cred.
We want you to be a powerful, smart, sophisticated ghost about town.
And helping your best mate solve mysteries.
A spawn? Well, untie me then, Marty.
Can I am a flaming ghost?
Drama to die for.
Maybe he's an angel.
Randall and Hopkirk deceased. New drama coming this month to BBC One.
A recent scientific study suggests that the key to great comedy lies all in the mind. The following experiment will test this theory. Focus hard on the dot. Now think of something that's guaranteed to have you in hysterics. Something that would make you laugh so hard, it would hurt.
Hello.
Well done. You've just tapped into a source of great comedy. To nurture your newfound ability, tune into the Comedy Zone, Friday from 9 on BBC Two.
Dan Aykroyd's the ultimate illegal alien, and he's on the run in the science fiction comedy Coneheads. That's tonight's film on BBC One in 35 minutes.
This is about my access bill, isn't it?
We received an alarm call down at the station.
No one set off any alarms. Have they, Peter?
No. No, sorry. Sorry, officer.
Sorry, we've just had a new security screen installed. Unfortunately, it's not designed for Neanderthals.
Well, do try and avoid a reoccurrence of the incident.
Stupid place to put an alarm button. The robber can see you press it.
Doesn't matter. Bulletproof glass, that is. The bloke said you could fire at that with a sawn-off shotgun 20 times and you wouldn't notice.
Well, I think we might start to smell a rat.
This is a security door. Can we keep it shut, please? Sorry.
No, Evelyn, we can't hear a thing through the new glass. You have to press the button to speak.
Oh?
You have to press the button.
Oh, working!
It is working. You have to hold it down.
What do you mean?
I am pressing the button. You press your button when I have finished pressing mine. Press the button, Evelyn.
Should I be pressing the button? Don't shout at me!
Alex.
I should never have come back to work.
Go after her, Barbara. We don't want her up those pylons again. By the way, it's no smoking in here.
Sorry.
Hello, Susan.